I'm going to pick 5 names, and they will tell in this order. Prepare for section 1. Everyone else, I remind you to stay muted, follow the directions, have fun, and this is it. Number 1 will be Walt.
Walt.
Number 2 will be Mark.
Mark.
Number 3 will be Kory.
Kory.
Number 4 will be Elena-Beth.
Elena-Beth.
And number 5 will be Tina. Again, that's Walt, Mark, Kory, Elena-Beth, and Tina. So everybody not named Walt, please stay muted. In a moment, Mary and I will too. I'm going to spotlight Walt. I think he's already spotlighted. Walt, take your time. And when you start, I'll start. Have some fun.
All right. My father was a notorious flirt. He couldn't help himself. He got excited whenever he saw an attractive woman, and he turned on the charm. My mother just tolerated this. She would roll her eyes and say, "He's like a dog chasing a car. He wouldn't know what to do if he caught it." And we were on a road trip, and I was a little kid, and my sister was with us, and we were going from Greenville, South Carolina, all the way down to Hollywood, Florida. There were no interstates. This was in the 1950s. There was no fast foods. There was no McDonald's. It was a wonderful trip. And I remember we were going down the old Dixie Highway that winds its way through Georgia. We were just past Athens, Georgia. And we stopped at Rosie's Truck Stop, Deer Processing, Laundromat, General Store, Auto Repair. And we went in there to get some hamburgers, and the waitress came over, and her name was Lenora. We could see on her name tag, and my father got a gleam in his eye and a smile on his face, and he said, "Lenora, are you from Athens, Georgia?" She said, "Yes, sir." He wanted to show her his world knowledge. He had been in World War II. "Have you ever heard of Athens, Greece?" She said, "No, we use lard from Buddy's farm." My mother didn't stop laughing till we got to Valdosta. And any time after that, when my father got too big for his britches, she could bring him down to earth with 2 words: Athens, Greece. Boom.
Thank you, Walt. Always a challenge to be the first storyteller. It's not your first rodeo. Okay, thank you, sir. I will also add that if people are coming in late and you are late, please don't vote in section 1. You should hear all the stories. If you're going to vote for the stories, I promise I would keep this moving along. Next up, that was Walt, by the way, in Florida. You know, guys, I love location. Mark is in Massachusetts, unless he has moved. Mark, when you are ready, I am ready. Break a leg.
There are certain rites of passage. Go to school, get a place, get a job, pay bills, and send Christmas cards. When I get out of college, I've got to start doing all that stuff. So I go to Harvard Square and I buy 2 boxes of the best Christmas card I have ever seen. I mean, it's like this, on the front is this like Norm Rockwell painting. It's like a big puddle, a few lumps of coal, carrot, some sticks, scarf. And at the bottom it says, "Have a Merry Christmas." Inside it says, "Frosty would have wanted it that way." So I fill them all out. I write a little blurb. I put them in the envelopes. I lick the stamps because back then you had to lick stamps. I drop them in the mail and I feel all grown up. A week later, I get a call from my aunt, my Freudian analyst aunt. And she says, "Mark, why do you do this to me?" And I'm like puzzled. I'm, "What'd I do?" And she says, "I just got a call from your grandmother. She got your card, and she wanted to know how to have you involuntarily committed to a mental institution." Boom.
Boom it is. Thank you, Mark in Mass. That was Walt in Florida. You will see these names again not long from now with a little blurb if they all stayed under 99. Next up, live from Iowa, Mr. Kory Thomas May. I'll spotlight you, sir. Take your time. Have some fun.
My best friend Dave calls me up and says, "I've got some pictures for you." I'm excited because I get a chance to see my buddy Dave. And if there's pictures, it means a memory of something that we've done together. It's January. As I run outside, it's cold. Dave hands me a small envelope with pictures and he says, check them out when you get back inside. I do, and they're pictures of my kids. And I called Dave up and I said, Dave, why are you doing this? He says, I just don't want these pictures to go into the landfill. They're meaningful to me. Why did you give them back? He said. I say to him. He says, because I don't want them to go into the landfill. He's repeated himself. I kind of stew about it. And this is still January. In March, Dave goes into the hospital. And I'm thinking it's going to be another time that Dave's in the hospital and out of the hospital. He's had cancer 4 times. He's had a bone marrow transplant. And he's had a kidney transplant as well. He's a tough old bird. And as he would say, you know, Kory, I'm particularly hard to kill. And I love him for that. But this time, Dave doesn't come back. I know Dave loved my kids. He loved them intensely and he loved them deeply. And when I look at the pictures and I remember that he said he didn't want these photographs to go to the landfill, Dave knew he was going to die. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Kory May. Live from Iowa. I know you might be thinking he's in outer space. It's an illusion. He's not. He's right here with us in the in, as we say, flyover country, but I didn't say that. I just heard about it. Next up, live from not flyover country. I'm sorry. It's just, by the way, y'all, I think there might be a couple of you that are inadvertently unmuted. So can you just do a quick check? Make sure you're muted. I don't want the storytellers to get interrupted. I know you don't mean to. Next
Show
up,
them love in the chat. Show them all love in the chat. Don't forget.
Show them love in the chat as they are.
Yes.
I would like to, the next storyteller, I just want to make sure I can find her. It shouldn't take long. There she is. She's already unmuted herself. Thank you very much. Her name is Elena-Beth. She is West Coast. She is spotlighted. Whenever you are ready, take your time, have some fun.
A few weeks ago, I saw a meme. Couldn't believe it was true. Had to go and Google it, about a church that had in big sign in front, gun training. And when I Googled it, I was awash with memories from 25 years ago, with the origins of that church. It was a time when we were all very aware of cults, and I had done a lot of studying about them. I thought it was fascinating. So when I came home one day, after I had, by the way, told my brother, you can't be staying as my roommate without paying money anymore, you have to go. When I came home to a phone call from my mother saying, it's wonderful, your brother found people to be with. I had a moment of, what? And she said, it's something like a fish, a shad. I said, carp. The Collegiate Association for the Research of Principles, and I knew it was the Moonies, and I knew that I had to try to get him out. No one could get in touch with anybody then, but I went to the place that he had been sitting lost and alone and waited for them to come up to me, and oh, by goodness, they did. I didn't know it was going to be that church, but I knew I was leaping into something I was not prepared for.
Thank you, Elena-Beth. And I believe California. For those of you who are wondering, some of the storytellers said boom, some did not. That's a choice they have.
Okay.
It's a tradition. It's just a tradition.
Boom.
And if it's not clear when your story ends, and this is to any storyteller, they know. One, I will give them a benefit of the doubt. And if we don't know when your story ends, probably not a very good story. Oof, God, did I just see?
Ouch. Wow.
Just keeping it real. That doesn't apply to other storytellers that told stories at all. Very clear when they ended. Always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Final storyteller of section 1 and round on is Tina. I believe she still resides somewhere in the great state of New York. I'm going to spotlight her. Mm-hmm. Whenever you are ready, Tina, have some fun.
I'm 16 and I would pick my dad up every night after work. And one night he comes in and he gets in the car and he hands me a payday. Well, I rip that open and I devour it. And I say to him, Daddy, that is the best candy I have ever had in my life. And that becomes our special time, you know, having the payday and talking. Now I'm 18. I'm on a Greyhound bus heading to Canada to school. And my dad taps on the window and I open it and he says, hands me my payday. And he says, here, kid, here's one for the road. A year later, I head back to the States to yet another college. And every night when he would come home from work, I would have a Manhattan waiting for him. And he would give me my payday and we would talk about how our day had gone. When I'm 20, I head out to another college. And halfway down the coast of California, we stop at a motel. And after dinner, we head back to our room and he orders himself a Manhattan and gives me my payday. And we talk about our new adventure that I was about to embark on. The next morning, after he's moved me in, he gets back in the car and rolls down the window and he hands me my payday. And he says, here, kid, here's one for the road. And that is the last time I ever saw him alive. Boom.
Thank you, Tina. Queen Mary. First of all, no, I'm not playing any favorites here. We don't do that.
No.
The truth is, I'm from New York, but I'm from the city, and Tina knows, you know, it's not the same, man. She knows. So, good news.
There's good news?
There's good news. Not that the other stuff would be bad news, but the good news is, well, you know what it is. Nobody went over time, which means you now will give us your blurbs, and then I will launch a poll, and it will be very clear. It says, pick your top 2 stories, and then everyone will pick their top 2 stories. When you're ready, Mary.
All right, sounds good. Well, Walt's dad got a little embarrassed once he realized that he wasn't the Casanova he thought he was at Rosie's auto repair, grocery store, gas, everything basically you can get in Georgia. Mark had his aunt who was ready to commit him after he sent out Christmas cards from Harvard Square. Kory knew Dave was a tough old guy, but when we handed him those photos, it didn't look so good for him, and unfortunately it wasn't, but he got the photos back of his kids. Kory did. Elena-Beth knew she was getting into a situation to rescue your brother from the Moonies, but she might not have been prepared, but she was going to do it anyway. And Tina got her final payday when her father said, have one for the road, before he left for her at her next college experience.
All right, I'm blurbing within the blurbs. You're much better at it than I am.
Yes, you are.
So I think between the fact that they just heard them, your blurbs, and my my little words here, it should be very clear. So again, I'm going to launch this poll.
Do it.
And now you know that Zoom changes things a lot. You know that, right?
I do, yeah.
And one of the interesting things is that sometimes when they do that, shit gets a little weird.
Uh-huh.
Like, for example, there it is. So, for example, there it is.
Most of us don't vote for that set, yes?
Everybody votes that can vote. The only people who can't vote are me and Mary, because as hosts, we can't vote. So, presumably, storytellers will vote. I haven't launched it yet.
Okay.
Just want to make that clear. Everybody votes for their top 2 stories. That's it. I think it's the fairest way to do it. I'm going to launch it. Vote, 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 vote. Everybody here. We got 51 people, which is great that you're all here. Everyone should vote. That should be 49 people and 98, if my math is correct, total votes.
Ronna, what's up? Your hands are up. What's going on?
Let me pick 2. We can't
It
pick
would
2.
only let me pick one.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
Mine let me pick 2.
Oh, yours got 2?
All right,
No,
hang on.
I was only allowed one.
Hold on, yeah.
Hang
Hold
on. That's not all right.
Yeah, I can only pick one.
Okay, it's not a problem. What we're
Yeah,
gonna,
I can only pick one.
I'm very clear. I'm very clear.
We're gonna fix
Got it. Got it. So what we're going to do is if I can, which I probably can. So I ask you all to sit tight.
Hold on.
I'm going to do a little editing.
Hey, if you're wondering, Sean, someone put in the chat and only gave him one choice.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch it again. If that happens again, I want you, we'll work it out then. It's all good. Happened before. Thanks for your patience.
Mhm.
You know what would really suck if this was happening? Like, actually, I think it's just as bad on. So we had Walt. This is going to take me about 45 seconds. So just
This is like live TV, Sean. What happens is, that, we have to kind of fill the time while you're doing what you do.
now, let's just talk about these stories for a month. Give me Walt's blurb again, and I'll just fill it in.
Athens.
All right, we're just going to put Athens. Great.
Yeah. Poor Mark. Mark was going to get committed. Poor Mark.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah. Isn't this fun, guys? You get to see behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yes. We had the next one was Kory. Photos.
That's Kory.
You gotta
Talk about
choose
the
your words,
pictures.
It's hard to.
DC, please remove me from this email. Kory. Kory's just trying to get me to swear again. That's what he's trying to do. I see you, Kory.
This
I
is
see
good.
you.
We'll bang out our glitches in the first, and we'll speak with Elena-Beth. I got it. Word. We can put Moonies. And we'll just put these are all just one word each. Dad.
There was a payday. I think a payday is great for Tina. If Tina
Payday?
doesn't.
Sure.
Payday.
Hey, date.
Yeah, you can do whatever you like.
Hey, day or date?
Payday, D-A-Y.
Done. Saving it.
All right.
If this happens again, I am definitely retiring forever.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Nice try. Listen, I got points. I can get on a plane in North Carolina. Don't make me, because I will. I got points. I got companion tickets. I'll get on. I don't care.
Oh, this is so weird. They've changed this shit up. Sorry, y'all.
We're sorry, guys.
This is so strange.
What, us? Definitely.
No, I just don't.
Or group. I'm so sorry.
I'm having a hard time accessing the poll. So if this continues,
Everybody's going to be sending me their two. Oh, wait. Okay.
Can you pick two now?
Try now, folks.
Yes.
Great.
Yay!
If you can't, just chat. Send something to the chat to Mary. Don't scream. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting thumbs up. Oh, we get.
I'm sorry. That was 100% my fault. It shan't happen again.
Sometimes we just got to work it out, Sean. That's all.
All right. I think we have our.
Wow. Yeah, people are happy to vote, man.
All right. So we got two people that look like they are going to be the people going through from round one. And because it is. Oh, it's really close. So there's 4 people who haven't voted, and we have a tie now. 3 people. So please vote.
Please vote, yeah, because we do have a tie, guys. We're not lying. I know we usually say it's close, but we do have a tie.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we usually lie too, but not this time.
Or maybe we're lying now. Who knows? But in other words, please vote if you haven't.
Please vote the 3 because right now we have a tie. All right.
We'll talk.
10 more seconds. If you can hear me and you're on the toilet, stop what you're doing, return to your laptop, and vote. All right.
The seatbelt sign has gone on. Please return to your seats and buckle in.
All right, we got to end this, even though
we do
have a winner by 1 vote.
Yep.
Always interesting, but everyone but 2 people have voted. We can't wait any longer. 3, 2, 1, done. Okay.
Okay.
Let
Wonderful.
us keep moving on because that took a little longer and that was my fault. And I said it again. It's Shantep again. Here we go. Next up, top 5. 5 are. Can you see that? Barbara. Andrew. Cali. Neshama. And Julie. Let's keep it moving along. Barbara's up. If I find her, I spotlight her. I think she's got her cat who's there for support. Hmm.
Huh.
Did we just get ghosted?
I think we just got ghost. Oh, wait, here she comes.
You're
Hold
lucky
on.
I didn't start the clock on you, Peterson.
Poor
No,
Barb.
it's just that he decided, oh, she's up. I'm going to act up.
All right, you are.
Sorry about that, guys.
Whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Oh, okay. So it's a gorgeous summer day. I'm at Road America, which is a racetrack up in Wisconsin. And instead of watching the race, I'm going round and round with the young woman working the the RJ Reynolds booth. They're giving away one of those cute Joe Camel koozies with every pack of cigarettes you buy. The problem is that we're having is that I want the koozies. I don't want the cigarettes. I quit 10 years ago on my third very hard attempt after smoking a pack and a half a day for 12 years. So I tell the Camel lady this. I offer her $4 the price for 2 packs. I want 2 koozies. And I tell her, look, you can then resell the cigarettes. You're kind of getting double, for them, whatever. I think it's a bargain. And I just can't understand why she insists that I have to take the cigarettes. Fine, whatever, I acquiesce. So I walk away, cigarettes and koozies in hand. And within a few steps, I start feeling the long forgotten, presumed dead desire to smoke rising within me like a zombie rising from the grave. This unexpected yearning, I'm so stunned by it that I quickly run to the nearest trash barrel and I just toss them away because I'm afraid if I don't, the zombie's going to catch me. But then I feel anger at RJ Reynolds because you know what? They knew exactly what I, as an ex-smoker, was going to feel when I held those cigarettes. And they thought I'd be unable to resist. They didn't want my measly $4 extra. They wanted their nicotine slave back to provide them with thousands of dollars over the years until my own smoke went up, my own health went up with smoke, that too. And the koozies suddenly just didn't look so cute anymore. They were just like these tchotchkes meant to lure in the unaware and the vulnerable. And I wish I had tossed them away too. Boom.
Thank you, Barbara, who, by the way, resides in the Chicagoland area, I believe.
Chicago.
Chicago, Boston, always representing here amongst other very interesting places around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not even in one hemisphere. We're global. Okay.
We're global.
Andrew Shelffo, ironically, is in Massachusetts. He's
Yes.
not, and he's telling next. And his name is Andrew. And if I can find him, because sometimes he's sneaky. You know what I mean with Andrew? You never know. There he is. We'll spotlight him. He'll unmute himself. And when he's ready, he'll start. Break a leg, Andrew.
My son's friends call me Coach, which is cute, but it's also a reminder that I don't really know what I'm doing. Now, really, all I have to do is keep a group of 8-year-olds occupied for an hour a week while they play basketball. And then I watch them play a game on the weekend. And I've perfected like the coach's stance where I stand on the sidelines with my arms crossed and I look intently, but I don't look that angry. But you see, there's pressure here. And this team has never not won a championship. And the pressure comes from the guy who started the team. And the pressure comes from the parents who've convinced themselves that if their kid doesn't do well on this CYO team, they're not going to get that college scholarship they've been waiting on. And today is the championship. And where I meet the parents in the gym and they're all there to meet me and they're looking concerned. I figure they're going to fire me because they figured out that I can't coach. But no, they tell me that at the other semifinal game the night before, the coach on the winning team was attacked by a parent of one of his own players. And that parent bit the coach's ear off. It was mayhem, one of the parents tells me. And I say, I bet. He says, no. Legally, mayhem is deliberately disfiguring someone. And the parents look concerned and they're looking at me for answers and I don't know what to do. And then it hits me. This is great. If I finish the game and everyone's ears are intact, that's a win. And I figure that my ears are probably never as safe as they're going to be right now, right after someone else's has been bitten off. Let's go play this game. Boom.
Thank you, Andrew Shelffo. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Not every storyteller is in Boston. There are some that are west or central. I think we got a couple here. Andrew is one of them. We are moving west I believe, even though our next storyteller, I think, is a bit of a globetrotter.
Yes.
I don't actually know where she is, so I'll just say the Pacific Northwest, but I could be totally wrong. Her name is Cali. Let me find her. Let me spotlight her. There she is. Can you unmute yourself, please, young lady? And then when you are ready, oh, is that a little rude, young lady, please? Meaning this, I don't call someone a young lady. Is that rude for me to do that?
I think
Sean says he stopped my video.
No, I didn't. Oh, there you go. I didn't mean to.
Sean, what are you doing?
I'm trying to know better if telling a woman, young lady, is that rude?
Well, it depends on the person. You'll have to ask Callie.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
See?
Yeah.
There you are. We don't need to know where you are right now. We're going to hear your story. We'll learn that after. Break a leg.
I take yoga for my anger problem. Like sometimes I can't forgive, like I can't forgive the girl wearing a long ribbon on her short ponytail, or I can't forgive the guy riding a bike while smoking, or I can't forgive the lady whose long skirt suddenly right at her ankles changes into pants, so like so I take yoga, but at yoga, a girl loves the teacher, but the teacher loves me. So now I'm in a yoga war. And how I know this is happening is the girl like stares at the teacher, but he ignores her. And then he stares at me, but I ignore him. So he snaps that girl with a towel, And then the teacher made it worse because he told me to use the girl's balance block. So I took her block and she said, help yourself. And then she fierced me when we did our lion's roars, So like I sent back like a gentle love vibe, but she responded with that anger surge. So I responded with a delicate lotus pulse, but she answered that with a hate wave. So I had to spray her with the mat cleaning vinegar, and now she lives in fear. So that's okay.
Thank you, Callie, in an unknown location. We are going to find out soon enough. I promise you that. All right, that was Barbara in Chicago, Andrew in somewhere in Massachusetts near a big body of water, a river of some kind. Callie, and then we have Julie, who's what? People live near things.
No, you're missing someone. You missed our darling Neshama.
No, we're not there yet. Was Julie last? Neshama's next. Sorry.
Neshama's next.
This is why you get paid the big bucks.
The big bucks. I gotta work to keep my job, buddy. That's what I do.
Neshama can handle going fourth or fifth, but she's going fourth. I'm spotlighting her whenever you are ready, my dear.
I'm actually ready. I recently turned 85 and I got one hell of a gift. I got the hand of God. I mean, it's a medallion. It's an open hand. It has doves and wings and roses in enamel on one side, and it's nice and shiny and gold on the back. And when I got home from work, I wanted to put it in the place of honor in the house, which meant standing on a chair, kind of teetering, which is not such a good idea at 85. And I hung it from a piece of embroidery thread. What did the hand of God do? It flipped back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It seemed to go on for 10 minutes. And when the hand of God finally settled down, it did not show me its beautiful face or its shiny back. It showed me its side. So if I want to look at the beauty of the hand of God, I have to twist. Now, in the morning, I got 2 pieces of thread and a thumbtack, and I made it face front. But I got not only a beautiful medallion, I got a metaphor. You cannot control the hand of God. Boom.
Thank you, Neshama. All right. That was Neshama Franklin in California.
Yeah.
And our final storyteller, we're like crisscrossing all around the continent. I believe we're going back to my stomping grounds back in the day, Long Island, New York.
Oh.
Her name is Julie. I am going to spotlight her. And Julie, whenever you're ready, break a leg.
So I've had psoriatic arthritis since I was 17, and about 8 years ago, I had a septic knee, and I was in the hospital for a few days. And when I came out, I started walking with a cane. I don't need it anymore, but I still use it for subway stairs and to get a seat in a moving vehicle. Every now and then I try to stand on the subway and I fall over. Now I'm always afraid someone's going to call me out on it. So it's happened twice. I'll tell you about the first time now, and maybe I'll tell you about the second time later. I was in pre-pandemic times, and I was coming off of the 1 train at 28th Street in Manhattan. I folded my cane in half like I often do because it's easier to carry that way. I heard a man yell out, "You don't need that, you liar." And I looked, and there was a man sitting on a blanket on the sidewalk. So I thought to myself, he's probably homeless. He's probably a little crazy, but he seemed harmless. I know you can't always tell, but I was feeling friendly. So I said, I use it on stairs. He said, "It's called an elevator." I said, "There's no elevator at this stop." And he said, "Oh yeah, you're right. It's Trump's fault." And I didn't want to agitate him. So I said, "I won't disagree with you there." And then I thought to myself, in all fairness, how many US presidents have done enough for people with disabilities? Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. All right. Good job, everybody. All of our storytellers, fantastic. 2 sections are done. Again, massive thanks for everyone being here. Mary. One of our storytellers went over. Unfortunately, it was Barbara.
Oh,
sorry, Barbara. Loved your story. A little too long. So we're gonna just do our blurbs, which you're famous for Andrew, Cali, Neshama, and Julie.
Sorry, Barbara.
Bye, Barbara.
Right. Andrew had to make sure that everybody's ears stayed intact at the 8-year-old CYO team game because a coach from another team got attacked. God help you, Andrew. I just want to make sure because now I'm off a little bit. Yes, Cali got into a yoga war when she was sending love and lotus light, and she was sending back the girl she was in the war with was sending back hate and war. Neshama realized you can't control the hand of God. What a lovely gift at 85. And as Julie said, how many US presidents have done enough for folks with disabilities after she realized coming up the stairs in the subway and talking to a man on the street?
How would you give me 2 words to describe that one?
That one? Subway. I don't know. Subway's one, probably. Cane, maybe another?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting nods.
I'm going to put those 2 together. It's clear enough. They just heard it. They heard you. A couple keywords here. 4 storytellers. Pick your top 2, just like last time. If I screw this up, I'm retiring, but I will finish the show.
You know, you keep threatening that, and I'm just not going to let you. So nice try. Listen, we all got to keep working.
All right, it's launched. I think we're in good shape. Yep.
Your blurb of my blurb went really well, Sean. Look at that. And we're voting.
Oh, it's another close one.
Yes.
It's another close one. We need 5 more people to vote. It could make a difference.
Yeah.
3 more people can vote. It's again, no bullshit. 1 vote difference. And 2 people have not voted. It could make a difference if you want. We'll give it another, let's say 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. Because it does change. Someone comes running back from the bathroom. They go, doop, and that's it. That's
good note. If you're on the toilet, now is the time to stop doing what you're doing. Come back and vote. Unless you vote there with them, and then they can vote on the toilet and multitask. That's fine. Do whatever you're doing. I don't care. Just vote. 10 seconds. Let's count it down. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to close it up. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do.
3, 2, 1, end it. All right. All right. This is the real way to learn the lesson that every vote counts.
It really does. It's kind of crazy.
All right, our next 5 storytellers, let's keep it moving along. In this order will be Tracey Starin. We got 2 Traceys here tonight. Dyan D. I don't know everybody's last name, but forgive me. Ronna L. I'm just doing initials. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
Oh, there you go. Tracey C.
Tracey C.
We got the 2 Traceys, Dyan, Ronna, and Angela. So again, Tracey, Dyan, Ronna, Tracey, Angela. This is the all women section.
That's right.
Random. I'm going to find Tracey Starin. And when I do, I'm going to spotlight her.
There you go.
And there she is.
I can
Tracey,
see
take your time. I think you're unmuted. I believe so. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
At around 5:30 in the morning, a nurse comes into my room to take my vitals, blood pressure, temperature, pulse, waking me up from a sound sleep. Within an hour, another nurse comes into my room to take blood, painfully, waking me up again. It's a little while after that, someone comes in to bring me breakfast. They tell me what to eat and when. A little while after that, a transporter comes and takes me down to imaging, where they take pictures of the inside of my body so they can figure out what's wrong with me and how to treat it. And then they bring me back to my room, where a nurse brings me a little cup of medication with a cup of water. And then there's an alarm on my bed, so that if I so much as swing my feet over the side, it goes off and a nurse comes running in, so that when I get up to go to the bathroom, a nurse is walking right next to me saying, "Miss Starin, I have to walk with you to the bathroom to make sure you don't fall." I have ceded almost total control of my body to the staff of this hospital. And as I cross the threshold, the nurse is right on my heels. "Miss Starin, I have to come into the bathroom with you and make sure that you can sit on the toilet." Almost total control. "No, you don't," I say. And I slam the door behind her.
Thank you, Tracey. Tracey Starin, that is. Tracey's in Queens, where I was born. Does anyone care? No, they do not.
Did they have a plaque where you were born that says Sean Wellington was born here?
Actually, they do. I pass it all the time.
Part of the tour.
Jay, that's incredible. People pass my plaque. I didn't know.
All the time. All the time.
Okay, that's good. All right. Thanks, Tracey. Next up, Dyan, who I believe is in New England somewhere. We'll learn more later. But by the way, everyone, later you can hang out and talk, and we'll get to know tellers and more stuff. But now she's unmuted. I'm going to spotlight her. Make sure everybody you're muted. Double check. And Dyan, whenever you're ready, have some fun.
So for the last 10 years of his life, my dad battled Alzheimer's. And it really is a battle where the enemy within is stealing pieces of you bit by bit by bit until there's almost nothing recognizable left. Now, before this, he had been a brilliant man, kind and loving and generous and sweet. And the one thing that everyone always said about him, that he was such a gentleman, and he really was. And even late in his disease, his caretakers would say, "You know, even though your father can't speak anymore, you can tell that he had been a real gentleman." And I was so grateful that this cruel disease hadn't stolen that one core piece of who he had always been. Now, a few years before this, when he could still speak, he entered that phase of dementia that's so common where people start to become uninhibited. And he started to say and do things sometimes that he normally never would have said and done. And I'll never forget the first time this happened. He was in a rehab center recovering from a procedure, and I walked into his room, and he's sitting there in a chair, and he's holding a magazine up, and he's got this really serious, concerned expression on his face. And I say, "Hey, Dad, how you doing? Is everything okay?" And he slowly puts his magazine on his lap, and he looks up at me with his blue eyes, and he says, "You know, I've got an awful lot of hair on my balls." Boom.
Thank you, Dyan. Dyan lives in, you're in Massachusetts, right?
In Massachusetts, yeah.
All right, Mary, you're not allowed to show favorites just because you're also in the. You're not. No, I got you. We have at least one North Carolina teller here.
Yes.
We always have several from Massachusetts, a couple from Chicago, a few West Coast.
Canada A.
I don't know what.
Canada A.
Canada A, always a few. They always appreciate when Americans do the A thing. No doubt about that. Right?
Well, it's just like when people come up to me and say, "Park the car in the Harvard yard." We have to deal with what we have to deal with, Sean, in life.
Right. And you don't drive, which makes it even worse, right?
Oh, you've seen me drive, Sean.
All right, let's move it on. Ronna Levy is in Brooklyn, and she's here, and she's waving, and she's spotlighted, and she's unmuted. Have some fun, young lady.
We're sitting at the bar, and we're having our one staff drink after working a long dinner shift. And Richard, he starts making fun of all the customers. And then, after our one drink, Richard takes us to a dance club in the East Village, and then the 24-hour diner. This is our routine, 5 nights a week. I mean, we have just become a family. And Richard is the head of the family. He and his wife, they have holiday parties, they have get-togethers, and they're always willing to help us. But Richard's real dream is to become a fashion designer. And one time he mended a pair of pants for me. He put this black flowered patch on a pocket in the back where there was a rip. And then suddenly Richard's in the hospital. And we all visit him and we bring sandwiches, but true to form, Richard asks for a steak in burgundy. And then he also says he's going to take that hospital gown and he's going to whip it up into a smoking jacket. They say it's cancer. And then soon Richard can't have any guests. And then soon, the family breaks up, people get different jobs, move away, different lives. A year after we all split up, I'm in jury duty, and I see Marion, one of the waitresses from the family, and she tells me that Richard died. And I go, cancer sucks, right? And she just looks at me like you didn't know? It's 1984. I don't yet understand AIDS. And I'm saving those pants that Richard mended for me. I don't wear them out. And sometimes I just put them on, and I stand with my back to the mirror, and I look over my shoulder, and I just put my hand on that black flowered patch, and I remember Richard. Boom.
Thank you, Ronna. Brooklyn. Mary, don't you think the stories this evening have, as they often are, been very good? Oh, you're muted, so I can read your lips a little bit.
Yeah, no, they're spectacular.
We love the stories. We
do.
love the format. We love the people.
Exactly.
Question, Mary, is do we love ourselves? Really?
I think that would take more than a minute, Sean.
Yeah, let's move on. Good,
All right, yeah.
Next up is our other Tracey. I think she's out west somewhere. Again, we can learn more about that later. Help me find her.
Oh.
I mean, she's there, but sometimes she likes to hide a little bit. There she is. Hey, Tracey, all right, whenever you are ready, take your time, break a leg, have some fun.
There are always these moments where your world just tilts a little. I moved to New York in the fall of 1986. More specifically, I was living in Brooklyn, and more specifically, I was living in Bed-Stuy, which was not gentrified at that point, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I was starting a new life, and I was being an adult, and I was living in the Big Apple. And one thing that nobody shows you on TV is how to do your laundry. So I have my little cart, and I wheel down my cart to the laundromat, and this is like new adventure. And I go in, and there's this beautiful Black woman, and she has a sign up says ask for change. And so I was thoughtful, and I'd already got 5 singles queued up, and I said, I need some quarters, please. And she said, well, we don't take white quarters here. And I didn't take her meaning, because I'm new and I'm not from here. And so I say, I'm sorry. And she said, well, what you have are white quarters, and what you need yourself some black quarters. And I still didn't take her meaning. And so I said, well, where would I get those? Because I really needed to do laundry. And she said, well, you go next door to the bank. My cousin works there. Ask for Luella. So I take my little cart and I go next door to the bank, and I find Luella. And it's only as the words are coming out of my mouth that I take the meaning. And I said, hi, I'm told that I need black quarters for the laundromat. Boom.
Thank you, Tracey C. Somewhere, I believe, in the Pacific Northwest. Lovely part of the country.
She's nodding and thumbing you up.
Oh, I was right.
Seattle.
That's pretty cool. I was correct. Okay. Going crisscrossing back to the East Coast, New England. Her name is Angela. Her last name, I believe, begins with C, but for our purposes, it doesn't matter. There's Angela. She's unmuted. Whenever you're ready, break a leg.
Great. I'm going to start a timer here.
Take your time.
A few weeks ago, a friend called from Europe, as he often does, And he was calling to check in. And in that call, he told me that both of his parents had died within weeks of one another. I had met his parents at our high school graduation. He was a foreign exchange student, but I don't actually remember them coming from Sweden to the graduation. The only thing I remember from my high school graduation is my father's face. See, I had asked to go to a party, and I was told no. I was often preemptively being punished, even though I was a good kid and I didn't drink and I didn't get into trouble and I had a scholarship to college. No was often the default answer in my house. So when my dad got home from work, I asked him again, could I go to the party? And the answer was no. And so I said something that any teenager would say. I said, thanks for ruining my graduation. And my father grabbed me by the arms and he slammed me up against the wall. And my mother in the background is saying, let go of her before she starts screaming. I believe that people earn a place in your life. And it was 6 more years until I got my father out of mine. Every now and again, I look at the obits to see if he's still around. I mean, I haven't had a dad for a long time, but sometimes I wonder if I still have a father. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. New England represents. All right, Mary, good news.
Good news?
Good news is that none of our storytellers went over.
Yay.
So they're all will be in the poll, which we will, you'll do your blurbs or release. What do we got for Tracey, Dyan, Ronna, Tracey C, and Angela?
All right. So Tracey, our first Tracey, made sure to take control of a little bit of her time in the hospital by slamming the door in the face of the nurse who wanted to go in the bathroom with her. Dyan was every bit of a gentleman until he let her know he had a lot of hair on his balls. I have to say it. I just have to, guys. All right. Ronna remembers Richard as being part of the family. And when she puts on those jeans and remembers 1984 and the beautiful flower patch that he'd sewn on her pants. Tracey C got an education, all right, on how to do laundry in Brooklyn, New York City in 1986, when someone told her she had to get different quarters. And Angela, she hasn't had a dad in a long time, but she still wonders at times if she has a father out there.
All right, all right. All right.
All right.
I'm going to launch it.
Ooh.
And then we're going to have and that is it. Yeah, this is great. I think I didn't screw it up. That always makes me happy.
Well, you know, we'll
take our everybody, please vote. Woo!
And we're voting. And we're voting.
Gonna be close again.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know, it's just, it shows the talent of the storytellers when it's this close. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to choose. It is.
We've got 5 more people. And again, I know we say this a lot. It will make a difference.
It will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all like the judge part of this? Isn't this great? You get to judge. It's so fun.
Oh, we got a tie. Y'all, you don't even know how close this is. We've got, geez, please vote. Just make our jobs easier here.
Really?
If you're on the toilet.
Well, I say, like, if you're making a drink in the kitchen, how about that?
How is the time? I know, but the toilet's funnier than a drink. No, it's actually not funny.
Unless it's boxed wine.
Sean, I have to reply to your toilet comments.
Uh-oh.
My favorite introduction in a fancy formal storytelling show came from the man who said, well, Pat Coffey's supposed to tell the story to start the second half, but the last I heard, she was still on the toilet.
Thank you for that.
And then the curtains opened.
Yeah.
I think, Sean, we got to call it at this point.
We got to call it. We'll talk. We'll figure this out. Yep. I got the right way to do it. It looks like one person went ahead. We're good. Thanks, y'all. Yep. Oh, that was close. Dear. All right, let's keep it moving along. In this order, our next 5 storytellers will be Mary Jo in Arizona, Chetter, I believe, in Georgia, Patricia in Iowa, I think, Sharon, who lives in North Carolina, I think she's in New York, and Madeleine up north of the border in Quebec. Say it, Mary.
Eh?
There it is. Okay. Let's find Mary Jo and start section 4. And then again, remember, there will be another round of those who go through. MJ Pollack, where are you hiding? There you are. Spotlighted, unmute, take your time, have some fun.
I'm sitting in the doctor's office. Excuse me. Let me cough and then I'll start again.
No worries.
All right. I'm sitting in the doctor's office waiting for the results of my scans. My greatest fear is Alzheimer's disease. 3 generations before me had it, died with it. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother. And I've witnessed firsthand what it does when you're alive and I don't want to live or die with that disease. I found a study at the University of Arizona, and part of the study is when I die, my brain will be sent to Mayo Clinic for their portion of the study. But right now, every year I go and I get neurological testing, and every year I find out that I'm pretty much on point for where I should be for my age and background. But then the doctor ordered scans, and those can be diagnostic. So I am a little bit nervous to hear the results and what he might tell me. He came in the room and sat right across from me, and he said, "You know, Mary Jo, because it's a study, we don't even have to tell you the results of the scans. But there's no way that I could avoid telling you that you have nothing in your brain that would lead to Alzheimer's disease. You will not get Alzheimer's disease. And because of your family history, Mayo is really interested in your brain. Well, you just better tell Mayo. They're going to have to wait a while."
Thank you, Mary Jo in Santa Fe. No, that's not in that's the wrong state. It's Tucson. Just checking, seeing if you're here. You're good.
I'm paying attention, Sean. Thank you.
I wouldn't mind being in Santa Fe, but
Santa Fe, Tucson, you know, East Coasters just group the whole cacti area together. Some of us anyway. Next up, Chetter in Georgia. There are no cacti there. I don't believe, unless Chetter might have imported them, and who knows what it. I don't know. Where is he? Why can't I find people tonight?
I got Chetter.
There he is, Chetter. Always. I love your background. Okay, Chetter, when you're ready, have some fun, sir.
Thank you. Growing up in my hometown of Suffolk, Virginia, I always looked forward to Friday nights. You see, that was the night my dad took the entire family out to our favorite drive-in restaurant, Mosberth Chicken and Barbecue. We tell our dad what we wanted, he placed the order, and then come back to the car with these boxes of hot food that he passed out to us in the back seat. And when you opened up that box of food, you could get full from the smell of the food, and everything was just fine. Well, fast forward to the year 2020. I hit a milestone. I turned the big 5-0. And to celebrate, I thought I'd go back to my hometown and take a trip down memory lane to my favorite childhood restaurant, Mosberth. And when I crossed the threshold of the restaurant, it was like stepping back in time. It looked exactly the same. It smelled exactly the same. I ordered my favorite meal, barbecue, French fries, hush puppies, coleslaw, and a Sprite. And when I took that hot box of food to my rental car and opened it up, I was that 10-year-old kid again, sitting in the back seat of my car with my parents, and everything was just fine. But 6 months later, I got a text from my sister telling me that the restaurant had to close down due to COVID-19. And just like that, yet another memory from my childhood was gone forever. Boom.
Thank you, Chetter. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the stories. The humans that are here telling and watching and voting. And like I said, Mary, if you're a judgmental SOB, this is good for you. This is a really good event for you. Next up, we are going from Georgia and we're making our way up to Iowa. And her name is Patricia. She might go by Pat. And Pat, whenever you're ready, break a limb.
Okay. I belong to a group that exercises in 4-part harmony. That's parts missing, parts repaired, parts replaced, and parts that just don't work the way they used to. One day after a severe thunderstorm, we got to talking in our circle, and the first person said, you know, I have this metal plate in my arm, and in a lightning storm, all the hair on my arm stands up. And the next person said, I had a knee replacement, and you know that stainless steel knee weighs 5 pounds. That's why I've gained 5 pounds. And the next person said, I've had both knees done. That must be where that 10 pounds came from. We went on around the room. My first stroke, my second stroke, that heart attack. I said I had a tiny stroke. Yeah, think about that. But I did it in Scotland, and we were only there for 10 days, so I made the whole medical experience part of the trip. You can't waste time. Then it was Jim's turn, and by then we'd got to talking about prosthetic limbs and what they might weigh. Jim pulled up his pants leg, took off his leg and foot and passed it around so we could see what a prosthetic limb weighs. We have such a harmonious, good time. Boom.
Thank you, Pat, in Iowa. Got a couple storytellers from Iowa today, Mary.
I know.
Wow.
Well, we're international. This is
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Okay. Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Sharon. We don't know where she is. She's another globe-trotting, jet-setting human. But she lives near me, actually.
See?
Is she still here? You see her?
Is that where she travels a lot?
I don't actually ask her. No, I'm just playing. Where is Sharon? Is she here? Yeah, there she is. Sharon.
I see her. You got her?
Watch your tone. There she is. Wait, where is she?
Oh, hold on. I got it.
Let's figure this out. Yeah, because she's getting upset. We don't want
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Beautifully.
Okay,
Whenever you're ready.
thank you. My first kiss never really happened. So Nathan Marsack was in my Sunday school class. We were both 6, and that is all we had in common because he was so cool. So we're standing behind the curtain at the Hanukkah show, and we're super close. And I somehow had the courage to say to him, do you want to kiss me? Which was like big because I was shy. And he didn't just say no. He said he was going to kill me by biting me on the neck and sucking all my blood out till I was dead, which sounded really promising at the time. But it wasn't that weird because he was always dressed like a vampire. I don't mean just on like Halloween or Purim, which is the Jewish Halloween. He always dressed like a vampire, like full on black cape with pink silk lining and fangs. So I thought that was just, a sign of love. But this Nathan, he broke every rule there was to break. He used to jump off the desks screaming. He would squirt glue at people. I remember one time he stole something from someone and ran down the hallway, and there were like 2 rabbis chasing him. And I was completely different. I was boring. But here's the thing. I made up for lost time. I mean, look at me now. I am a total bitch. I break rules all the time. I fucking curse every other fucking word. And the thing is, I just wish somebody would tell Nathan. But even if they don't, I'm just happy I grew into someone that my little self would be proud of. Boom.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much. Sharon is the second to last storyteller of our first round. We're going to keep it moving along, as I promised. And our next and last storyteller, we're going up.
You're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're going up. We're going north. We're going slightly west. It's getting cold. And her name is Madeleine. And there she is. And she's spotlighted. And whenever you're ready, break a leg, Madeleine.
Seems like everybody wants to fuck my husband, my girlfriends, my gay friends, even some gay girlfriends now. Jean-Pierre's not like other men. He doesn't race around the trails, breaking everything up. He would rather hear the crunch of the snow under his boots in the woods, or feel the hot soil under his bare feet in his garden in July, perfectly in tune with nature. One night in late March, I'm in my kitchen catching up with my good friends Nancy and Chris. Jean-Pierre keeps jumping up and going out and outside to put wood in the boiler because, of course, he taps the maples to make syrup and whiskey and wine. He brings a jar of that hot reduction, and we mix in a little gin. I delight in that first taste of sweet perfection as it trickles down my throat, warming me up from the inside out. Then my friends tell me stories about men who don't talk, don't listen, don't seem to care much. When we've had more than enough, my friends crawl upstairs to bed, determined to go outside in the world, to find themselves a good guy just like Jean-Pierre. They can't be just one. I get into bed beside my husband where it's warm and safe and peaceful. And I wonder just how this good guy was meant just for me.
Thank you, Madeleine. Our final storyteller of round one, section 4.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And everybody's under time. So all the names will be read and the blurbs. This is our final one. And then we'll have 8 tellers going through to round 2. And just so everyone knows, when this section, after you voted, we're going to take a few minutes just to chillax, go to the turlet, go to let your dog out. I don't care what you do. Just so you know, there's a few minutes. I don't want to get
take a drink, hug a friend.
Hug a friends. I would look up, I'd go on Amazon and I would find out where Mary got those kick-ass glasses if it were me, but it's not me. You do you. Okay. Mary Jo, Chetter, Patricia, Sharon, and Madeleine.
All right. Mary Jo was told she had a beautiful brain by the doctor whose study she was in to avoid Alzheimer's. Thank goodness. Chetter got the wonderful chance to go back to his hometown and have some of the great hush puppies and chicken and waffles before they closed at COVID. Who am I missing? Oh, Patricia. Patricia has a show me yours and I'll show you mine kind of experience with folks when someone takes off their prosthetic leg and hands it around for everybody to hold. Sharon says her first kiss never really happened, but on the other hand, she's grown up into a person that her young self would be very proud of. And Madeleine just wants us to know that everybody wants to fuck her husband.
Oh, dear God.
Because he's such a good guy.
All right. There we go. All right. We got 5 last. We got 2 more stories to put through. Here we go.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. All right. These have all been, and I say this, it sounds like hyperbole, perhaps the most the closest polling we've ever had. Every single time. Fascinating.
It's so good. Yeah, I love the comments. It really, every round's competitive. Everybody's so great.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, we got 16 more of you. Let's go.
Vote, 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 vote.
This is the time when they're voting and we're watching and like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is the time when I say, and I mean it, great stories.
Amazing.
I want to say great humans, but I don't know everybody. I mean, some of them might be complete assholes, but they're probably not. They're probably really cool.
We're going to default to great humans.
We'll default to like, you're great. Nobody's great all the time though. Am I right, Mary?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Nobody's great all the time. And some are not great longer than others.
Right.
So,
And I love the fact that you're here, both tellers and what, like 30 plus other people. So that's fantastic because I know you could be spending your Sunday night in any number of ways. It's Cinco de Mayo. So thanks for being here for real.
we appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Hmm.
I can close this poll. Yes.
Hold on. Don't close yet for a second.
Okay. Let's give it another few seconds.
I have to go. It's Cinco de Mayo. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. No, she's kidding.
She's kidding. Oh,
are we waiting anymore? I think we have.
Yeah, but I think we're good. I think we're good.
It's been 90 seconds. We are good. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna end the poll. We have got 8 people. Now, you know what? Here's the truth. I'm just gonna say this.
We like truth.
We love truth. When you have 4, 5, 6 tellers, even for these short stories, 99 seconds, you go in first. It's not a big deal. Well, we've got 8. The truth is, I don't know. The first 2 spots are tough. So I guess in me saying that, that's my way of saying, I don't know what I just said, which is me saying absolutely nothing.
There is mud, Sean.
But in that, everything. Am I right?
Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, clearly needing a lot of validation.
I'm noticing that. Did you pour another drink yet?
Nah, I'm sipping on the IPA. I want to keep it. You mean back in the day when it was 2020, 2021? I mean, I'll be honest, with some of these slams towards the end, I was completely fucking ripped. I don't want to do that shit.
No, no one could tell. Look at this. No, get out of here, Sean.
Yeah, it's time for me to come clean. I may have been a little inebriated. Looked like it worked out. We're on number 33. We got 50 people here, 51 now, which is cool.
That's right.
In a moment, I'm going to read the 8 storytellers. What's going to be different about this one, though, is I'm not telling them in advance that the order. They're just going to get picked one by one. Okay.
Yeah. Amazing.
But the same thing. We will put up, I believe we could put up, I should check. I think we could put up at least 8 names in that final poll. And you'll still vote for your favorite 2 stories. The same exact thing. But we will have a winner. And in case there's a tie, we'll have 2 winners. Right. And in the unlikely event there are 3, we'll have 3 winners. And at that point, if there's 4, I'm just going to pick the person I like least, and they're not part of it anymore. Because that's just how I fucking roll.
Right.
Well, you know what I mean? Is that where...
Ruthless.
I'm just playing, y'all. If there's ties, everyone wins. It's 2024, Queen Mary. Everybody wins.
Yes, that's right.
All right. I'm going to read the 8 names in no particular order. Kory has a question.
He's just waving. Okay.
Oh, he's waving. Okay. I'm reading 8 names in no particular order. It is now 9:17. At 9:20, we begin. That gives us 2 minutes to hang out, do whatever you want to do. In no particular order, the people going to the second round are Mary Jo. This is not necessarily the order. I'm going to mix it up. Neshama, Walt, Andrew, Kory, Ronna, Angela, Chetter. For the 12 of you that didn't make it through, you didn't make it through. We love your stories. We love you. You know how voting is, and I am not kidding, and maybe you don't want to hear this, but it was an exceptionally close vote.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that says a testament to everybody that they're it's really very close. It's not like someone runs away with it. We have a battle always going on. That's how great the story is. So, if you didn't make it through, it's no reflection of your story. It's just sometimes
not a reflection of your character or your childhood or your parents. It's not a reflection of your lack of optimism or your future or anything like that. It's just that you lost by 2 votes. Come on, who cares?
Wow.
Did I screwed that up again? Did I always screw it up?
Wow, hold on a second. Let me really end.
You need a raise, and I'm going to have you do way more of the talking.
I know. No, that's why people come for you, Sean. It's true.
Those are the 8 names. I would love it if every single storyteller stuck around. We want you here. We want you to vote and to support. Let's do it. We'll make it 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes, just to be fair. We're coming back. That's 9:22 by me. And we will continue with our 8 storytellers. I'm going to mix it up. And go. 2 minutes. I promise not to start until you're back.
Yep.
Get a drink, walk your dog, go to the toilet, relieve yourself, vape, Get back to the thing on Messenger, on text, whatever it is. I know you've been doing that anyway. It's fine, but here's like
right or left, feel free.
Yeah. I'm going to ask as we wait the next minute or so, Mary. Again, I'm going to give you the option. I've got 8 names in my hand, and just stop, and that will be the order. I'll just do it one at a time.
Stop.
All right, there it is. Names down. They come up in that order. And that's that. So yeah, thanks
Fantastic.
everyone for being here. I have no major announcements because the events that we had been doing for a long time, primarily the virtual ones, we essentially aren't doing. And yes, I said this was the final 99. But 51 people came and 20 storytellers. So I mean, that's a sign that maybe there's a future. Did Mary get frozen?
That's right. We'll talk.
Are
We'll
you-
kick it around.
You're frozen. Be careful.
Did I
don't want you
freeze?
to-
Am
for a
I
little
back?
bit.
Am
'Cause I can't do the blurbs like you can do.
I'll be all right. Don't worry. It'll
Yeah,
be fine.
like if
Do a little
Mary's not
magic.
here, everybody stop what you're doing. Until Mary comes back, we have to pause all activity. So just so you all know, when we're done, we'll announce the winner. We'll invite everybody to hang out as we always do. We can talk shop. We can talk about other stuff. And I also give everybody who told a story tonight an opportunity to sort of hop on camera real quick. And, maybe they have an event they want you to know about, a class they're teaching, whatever it is. We'll do that just after we announce the winner.
And I will say, Sean, I got a lot of I got a few instant messages. I won't say a lot of people who just couldn't make it tonight. They were like, I would love to make it, but I couldn't
Yeah,
make
there
it
were a few
because of that.
people. Yeah. The people who
They
have
miss
far,
us.
far busier lives than I have, but they can't be everywhere all the time.
Can't clone yourself yet.
I've tried.
I know you have. And then you woke up the next morning.
Thank you. That's the end of my memoir or film. You just said it. And then he woke up the next morning.
done.
The right kind of music and done. All right, y'all. It's 21. When this hits 22, I am actually saying the first storyteller's name. I want everybody hopefully to be here for all of them. And storytellers, please get in position.
That's right. Hey, we've kept a lot of people from the first round. Thank you all for staying. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we have 44. Yeah, a few people are going to dip out. We understand, but we still have a whole lot of storytellers and stories, 8 more, and you and me and our audience. So it's 22. Here we go with the final selections. Our first storyteller, Mary Jo.
Really?
Mary Jo, are you ready? She's ready. I'm shutting up. Break a leg.
Aren't you going to make me big?
You're big.
Oh, it doesn't appear that way to me. Okay. That would be JP, not MJ.
Hang on, let's just make sure we're right. Something's a little weird with yours. Remove spotlight. Hang on. Spotlight. You should be good. Everyone else is muted, so you're good. Break a leg.
Excellent. On the first of every month, I get a text from my brother with a meme of bunnies and a caption that says, "Bunny, bunny." We've been doing this for years. It started about 12 or 15 years ago when my aunt and uncle were visiting us. We both lived in Los Angeles. And we picked them up at their hotel. And as we're coming down in the elevator, they went, "Oh no, we forgot to bunny, bunny." And bunny, 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 bunny. And Gordon and I are like, "Bunny, bunny, 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 what is this that you're doing?" Well, on the first of the month, you're supposed to say bunny, bunny to the first person you see. And then they say bunny, bunny back. And it's good luck for the month. And Gordon and I cracked up. And later we talked about how they gave us this little insight into their playful side. They're serious people. We rarely saw a playful side in them. And now every month He sends me a meme with Bunny Bunny, and I return it with Bunny Bunny, except on April Fool's Day, I send back a different animal. I'm done.
Oh, thank you, Mary Jo. And not
I
in
must have
Albuquerque.
forgotten something.
No, thank you. You're good. You're not in Albuquerque. You're in Tucson.
What did you say? I was in Albuquerque?
I don't
know.
I was.
No, originally you were in Santa Fe, and now
Santa Fe.
You said that at the first time.
I know.
but
I've turned into my father.
You know she's in. No, you're not.
Does the memory thing where he says yeah, I've turned into my father, which is upsetting. We need to end this show very quickly so I can have an extra beer or two. All right, let's stop. It's not about you, Sean. Next storyteller, Neshama Franklin. That was Mary Jo. Pollack. Neshama, where is she? There she is. Spotlighting. She's ready. Have some fun.
Okay. For the last almost 3 decades, we've gone to the same national park close to us for camping. And the high spot is going through the cave because this is an anomalous volcanic eruption in the middle of a flat plain. And this year, my daughter said, Mom, you really want to do that? And I said, oh, yes. So this is what it's like. You have to put on a headlamp because it's dark in there. And I have hiking poles, but we had to collapse them because you don't hike, you slither, you hoist, you crawl through the cave. And this is how it worked this year. My grandson, sturdy, 28, he went in front of me. And there was a time when I couldn't quite get up and over. So I'd just say, hand. And he would brace himself against the slippery rock and he would reach out a hand and hoist me up. And sometimes, just 2 times, not even the hand would do it, but then with my daughter at my literal rear, and she would give me a shove up the butt or steady a leg. And I don't know, it seems like forever, but it's probably only 10 minutes in the dark. It's like moving through intestines in rock. But we emerged and it was good and we were stoked. And the very best part of it was parenthetical help. My daughter at the rear, my grandson at the front. And the big lesson was I'm learning to ask for help.
Thank you, Neshama. All right, so we had Mary Jo in Arizona. That was Neshama in California. We got 6 more tellers and 1 champion coming up. We winner. The next storyteller. Let's keep it moving along as promised. Let us take Neshama off spotlight.
Oh, she was off.
Was off spotlight. Did I? Yeah.
There we go.
Our next storyteller is going to be Chetter in Georgia. Where is Chetter? There he is, waving his hands. Yeah. Chetter, have some fun.
Right. In 2002, I was in a great place with my finances. You see, after 6 long years, I had finally paid off my Nissan 200 SX. But of course, no sooner than I did that, did I start having car trouble with the brakes. Well, I fixed the brakes and I was on my way to work to do some overtime. And I was driving along the road and noticed a procession of brake lights in front of me. So I tapped mine lightly and thought to myself, hey, the guys did a pretty good job as I was slowing down. No sooner than that thought cleared my mind did I hear the screeching of brakes behind me, which was followed by a bam, and me being rear-ended by a fully armored tank, also known as a 1980 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. The car hit me with such impact that it spun me around and I wound up in the median facing oncoming traffic. The Cadillac went swerving across 4 lanes of traffic and took bits and pieces of the back end of my car along with it. Now, fortunately, no one was hurt. There were no other cars involved, and thankfully, no fatalities. Well, except one, my Nissan. It was totaled out for the amount of $3,000, which meant now I had to start over all again, making car payments. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Chetter. I think he's in Atlanta. Nice.
Yeah.
I actually lived there for a little while back in the day. All right. Thank you, Chetter. Yeah, I've got there's a backstory. There's some stories you don't know about Queen Mary.
I bet you'd have to do it later. I'll just say that.
No, it did not have to do with a lady.
Oh.
It might have.
Right.
It did actually. It's funny. It's been so many years since that had happened that I've actually kind of blocked it. She was great.
Mm-hmm. I bet there's a story there, Sean.
Hey ho, hey ho,
Hey
hey.
ho, hey.
All right, here we go. Our next storyteller. You behave yourself, Queen.
Oh, all right. Okay.
All right, our next storyteller, fourth of 8 is Mr. Andrew. Let me find you, Andrew. Spotlight you, you handsome devil, and then we will get started. Here he is. No, there he is. No.
I got him.
You got him. Boom. Whenever you're ready, Andrew.
What does AI know about us? One of my students asks me. I'm an English teacher and I'm talking to my high school seniors about artificial intelligence. No, you can't use it to write things that you're going to submit for a grade. Yes, you can use it for background information. No, you can't take what AI gives you, put it in your own words, and hand it in as your own work. I'm not an AI expert, but I've experimented with it and I'm more comfortable with it than my English department colleagues. They all figured that it's signaling the end of humanity as we know it. To me, it's a tool I use to make quizzes. But I answer her question honestly. I don't know. Later that night, I'm in bed with my computer and I'm writing in my journal. I've been keeping a journal for years, and the AI button stares at me in the top right of the screen. I open it up and I ask, tell me about the person who's written this journal. It tells me that the narrator is lonely, that the person is getting over a breakup, that the person is concerned that he's not a good father, and that he wishes he had more friends in his life. It's true. Artificial intelligence has surpassed human intelligence. Well, at least this human's intelligence, because AI is smart enough to know never to ask AI what AI is all about. But it doesn't know that you're not supposed to say the quiet part, the part that you write down in your journal. That part doesn't know you're not supposed to say that out loud. I stew in this description of myself. It's like looking in a mirror, but mirrors aren't us. The reflection isn't what people see. AI may know about me, but it doesn't know me. Boom.
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew might be a little upset that I said, just like not in Boston, but he's actually in East Hampton.
He is, yeah.
In the river, the body of water is the Connecticut River, I believe.
He's nodding.
Oh, he's nodding. Okay, that's just good.
For us near the city, it's like you're so Andrew's out in the boonies. I'd be
Right.
like,
You're in the city, he's in the
city,
boonies.
but he's in
Mary
a
Jo's in Arizona, Neshama's in California, Chetter, Georgia. And this is incredible. Actually, we're staying with our next storyteller in non-Boston, Massachusetts with Angela. Angela, where is she? We're gonna spotlight her. And
her?
older I get, I'm telling you, man, I make these weird start squinting. All right, Angela, whenever you're ready. Angela, hold up. You're muted. At least you're muted to me, and that matters. You start from the beginning. You're good. No rush.
Oh, you missed all the times I said shit.
We want more. Go from the beginning. You're good. Starting over.
Okay. I'm sitting on my front porch in the shade of the 2 enormous spruce trees at my new house. I can hear the river running across the street. I'm waiting for the truck to show up with all my stuff, and I'm wondering how I'm going to fit it all into a house that's a quarter of the size of the house I used to live in Chicago. A couple days later, I start to unpack and I realize that I've made a huge mistake. I'm a collector. I have rocks and I have pine cones and I have sticks and I have shells from all kinds of places I've been. And in Chicago, these piles, they were distinct. There was the pile on the mantle that was from my honeymoon. And then there was a pile on a table that was from a trip to Vancouver. But in my effort to pack like with like, they all end up in the same box. And now I don't know which rock is which. I don't know which cone is which. And I don't know what to do about it. So I just leave them for a while. And eventually I decide that I'm going to take all these things, I'm going to take the rocks and I'm going to throw them into my gravel driveway, and I'm going to take the cones and I'm going to take the sticks and I'm going to throw them into my yard, because I've got these 2 giant spruce trees that litter my yard with cones, and I've got a river across the street that is just full of rocks. And it's time for me to start making new memories. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Mary, what do you think? Queen Mary, everyone's doing great.
I still, as I always say, just absolutely stellar. Really.
I mean, me and you would tell stories, but there's just so many stories, and I don't want to have to compete against these cats.
Oh God, no.
Eh?
No. I did it before I was host.
Yeah, you know, it's hard.
Mhm.
Next up is Ronna in Brooklyn, New York, which is the home of Welcome Back Cotter, as well as Ronna, of course. Ronna, there she is. She's wearing red. She's spotlighted. Let's make sure you're unmuted. Yep, you're good to go. Have some fun.
All right. I'm in LA to be an actress, and I go to auditions, but my money job is teaching in a community college, basic sentence writing and paragraph building. Pff, easy, right? So it's the first day of class, and this young lady walks in. She's 30 minutes late, and she's got ripped up jeans, giant earphones, dark sunglasses. So like, I'm an actress, and I get all tough, and I'm like, excuse me, class started 30 minutes ago. And she walks right past me. She doesn't take her earphones off, sunglasses. She just kind of turns around and she says, well, you know, there was an earthquake a couple of days ago. I just figured the college was closed. So I just stare at her, and she stares back. And without a beat, she says, is that a tan? Is it going to fade and you turn more white? And I'm like, oh God, just one national commercial and I am not teaching. I'm done, but I'm here. So I start thinking, you know what, these students are really better than sentences and paragraphs. So I start bringing in poems and short stories, and we start talking about this stuff, and they're really receptive. And I'm thinking, this is what we need to do. And so they start talking, and they start telling me about their lives in LA, and I start talking about my life in New York. And so it goes to the rest of the semester. It's the last day of the school. And my friend Candy with the sunglasses walks up to me, and she hands me a note, and she walks out. I open the note. And she writes, Ronna, when I first met you, I thought you were a snobby white bitch. I judged you by sight and not your inner self. And girl, you are a dynamite lady. And I'm holding that note and I'm thinking, I didn't want to be here. But 30 years later, I still have that note. And 30 years later, I'm still teaching. Boom.
Thank you, Ronna.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Got 2 more storytellers. We will run the poll, and we'll keep this Zoom room open for a little while. You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, shit has gotten crazy over the years in the post 99 Zoom room.
It's true. It's true. Because you've been in it. So it gets crazy.
Okay. I mean, like when I say crazy, I mean like
we've seen your belly.
Yeah. Right.
Do I need to say anything else?
That's not crazy, wouldn't be the word most people would describe when they think of me. Yeah, okay, let's go up next. And
Keep
second
going. Stop digging.
storyteller is Mr. Kory, revisited in Iowa. There he is. Let's find this handsome fella. There he is. He's unmuted, spotlighted. Kory, Mr. Kory, when you're ready, we are ready for you.
The room is spinning a little bit. I am captivated by this pair of magnetic hazel eyes. My back is against the wall and I'm sitting. Tink, splash, drink. I've heard those and I've felt this in this drinking game several times. And the owner of those hazel eyes is leaning closer to me with her lips parted. No, no, no. And if you can feel what was going on in my body, lava is surging through my veins. My hormones are percolating. I'm in a dorm room with other folks. This is a college dorm room, and I am just happy to be here. She leans in, and I lean back. She's obviously interested in kissing me. But here's the point. I'm a fraud. I'm 16 years old, hanging out with college students, trying to meet college women. I've got beer on my breath. The room is spinning. I don't know what to do. I've talked a great game from Penthouse Forum, and she's leaning in for a kiss. I've got beer on my breath. This is my first kiss. I don't know how to kiss, but I have no choice. Boom.
Thank you, Kory. All right, Kory is the 7th of 8 storytellers, the 27th of 28 stories. Man, you know what? You know what I should do, Mary? I should record these stories because they're so good, these entire slams, and do it like put it on something like a YouTube channel, don't you think?
Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed.
I know I've got a YouTube channel. You should check out the YouTube channel if you want to see the 32 other slams. There we are, Mary and me, and great stories and this one will be up at some point in the next couple of days.
Yep.
And there's some other cool shit there.
Amazing.
Yeah, the other events we've done, and actually all the audio recordings of the Suicide Noted podcast, which I do every single week. We're almost on 4 fucking years now, Mary, and others.
That's amazing, Sean. Talk about how many people you touch with that, and the
Who knows?
folks
I know. I'm just saying it's pretty cool that we've kept it going.
It's amazing,
and we're going to keep it going.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
We're going to hear. I want to hear more about your degree just after we announce the winner. Is that cool?
That sounds great.
All right, everybody else stick around because I want you to hear from our storytellers and all the cool shit they're doing. Final storyteller of the evening. He's been waiting patiently. He's down in the Bay of Tampa, I believe, home of the Rays and some other sport teams, I suppose. I'm spotlighting him. He's unmuted. Walt, when you are ready, break away.
Okay, when I was a kid, when I was a little boy, I watched Westerns on TV. I loved Westerns, and my father liked Westerns. We watched them all. I watched Roy Rogers and Dale Evans and their horse Trigger, and the Lone Ranger and Silver and Topper on Hopalong Cassidy and Champion, Gene Autry's horse. I knew all the horses and all the riders. I wanted to ride a horse. I imagined myself in the saddle with the wind in my hair, snapping a whip or shooting a gun. I just wanted to ride a horse. I begged my father, I'd like to ride a horse. And he said, son, horses are dangerous. A horse you see on TV, it's been trained. It's stuntmen ride those horses. Horses are unpredictable. They're nervous. They could bite you. They could kick you. They could throw you off. Son, you don't really want to ride a horse. Oh, yes, father, I want to ride a horse. But we lived in the city. We lived in a textile mill village in Greenville, South Carolina. There wasn't a horse around us. And then I found out that just past the mill village, out in the country, there was a place where you could pay to ride a horse. And I begged my father, please, let's go out there. And he finally relented and thought I was big enough to try it. So we went up to this horse, and it was just like Champion. That was its name, Champion. It had a golden mane and a golden tail. And I got in the saddle, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, it took off. And I was going this way, and I was going that way. And it almost threw me off, and it stopped all of a sudden. And I was back where I started from. My father came over and said, son, you want to get down? I said, no, Dad. I want to ride again. Put another quarter in.
Thank you, Walt. All right. Mary. People are snapping. There's stuff in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Show the love, y'all.
Show the love in the chat.
That's right.
Whatever you gotta say. Cool. All right. Check out that. All right, Mary, everybody who told was either at time. Now is the time to tell our listening audience in case they might have been timing themselves. Mary and I, behind the scenes, sometimes give a little cushion, but we don't tell anybody. We don't tell the tellers. And we don't tell them to this day. They can't. Well, when I say they'll never know, I mean like $150 via Venmo. You know everything you want. Anything you want, I'll tell you. But until the moment I get that money, No, we have this little secret where we decide earlier, like, all right, we'll give them 3 seconds, 2 seconds, sometimes 1 second or no seconds. So
everybody's
everybody's the point. Everybody's in. I need your blurbs, and then we're gonna run our final poll. And then you're gonna still vote for your top 2 stories.
Yes. All right, here we go. MJ and her brother sometimes say rabbit, rabbit, sometimes say bunny, bunny. Sometimes they just send each other different animal memes. Neshama had the help from her grandson in the front, helping her up, and her daughter bringing her up from the behind to enjoy her trip through the intestinal of a rock. Chetter paid off his car just to have it in an accident and have to start car payments again. Andrew says that AI may know about him, but AI doesn't know him after he had his journal run through it and they let him know what was going on. Angela, who was trying to pack like with like when she made a big move, had to maybe give some of her memories back to the earth so she can make good ones. Ronna is still teaching after 30 years, but she has that note from Candy who said she was absolutely dynamite. And Kory was sitting in a spinning room at college getting his first kiss, but he was a fraud at 16 years old because he wasn't supposed to be there. And Walt had a nice ride on a horse. His father finally relented, but it's not as good when you run out of quarters.
How would you, what are 2 words for Angela's?
New memories, I would say.
Okay, great.
You go with that,
I think I did a good enough job here, given they just heard it. We did have 8 this time. Hey, listen, still top 2 stories. We'll have a winner. If there's a tie, we've got co-winners. That's how we're gonna do it. I'm checking that I got this right. I'm saving it, then I'm launching it, and then we're done. And this has been great. And thanks, everybody. Please vote, everybody.
38 people can vote. Well, actually, that doesn't count. 38 people, yeah. Look at that.
This is gonna be woo-doo. All right. Interesting. Very close. It's true. It's really close.
It is, guys. Oh, man.
Oof. We got 6 more people can make a difference. Final time of the night, I'm going to announce if you're on the toilet, now is the time to rejoin us and vote. What? It's fair, Mary. It's fair. Now I'm being a little juvenile, don't you think?
A little?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
What is your point? Never mind.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let us give it 20 more seconds for 4 more people. And look, we're not going to dilly-dally. We're just going to announce the winners. Mary, what do you want to do? I didn't say if we were going to do this. You want to go 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, or just the winner? What do you think is best?
I think we should just do winner. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that idea.
What would you like to do? Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. And I think we can officially close this. We have a winner.
We do have a winner.
Votes, so we'll close it out. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to give the honors up. Mary, you're clear on who won?
I am clear on who won.
Awesome. Just wanted to make sure you got all that information. Whenever you are ready, please announce our winner.
I sure will. Well, you know what? That teaching job is paid off because Ronna has won our slam.
Boom. Ronna Levy in Brooklyn, New York has won the 33rd edition of the 99-second Story Slam. Thank you to everybody who has joined us as a teller, as a co-host, or as an audience member. I said I would try to get this done in 90 minutes. Our first story was at 8:09, so I was a little over. I thank you. Mary?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna Mary, thank you. I'm gonna stop the recording and then I'm gonna make sure that everybody, hopefully I know some people are gonna leave, but I want the tellers and eventually others to share stuff they're up to. And then you can complain about stuff because I love hearing that shit too. All right, here we go. We're stopping the recording. Congrats. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.